So this last section here, we're going to have a look at how to specify your marker type on a scatter graph. So working again from our basic plot, plt.plot, length, we know the default is to have this with a blue solid line. We know how to change this line, but what we can also do is actually get rid of the line by specifying the marker type. So if we go with a full stop, which is why dotted line is a colon rather than a full stop, because a full stop is just for a dot. And for some types of data, this is actually a very valid thing to do, where there isn't a linear progression. So this is length of album, so that I suppose in some ways there is a linear progression on that data, but equally you could say it doesn't really matter when the album was produced. The length is not dependent on that. What we've seen is a scatter of the different lengths. But actually what you see is that the album here, these are released in CD days, so you tend to get bonus tracks on the end, so the album gets longer. So actually there is a time limit here. Lots of different markers. There's a whole host of different markers. Again, have a look at that Matplotlib website, and that will show you a bunch of different markers you can have. You can have a dot, you can have a square, which gives you a square. You can have a diamond. You can have a circle. So there's a whole heap of different things to choose from. You can also add that line back in if you want to. So if you did go, yes, there is a distinct time series aspect here, you can pop that line in by adding it on, and you've guessed it, you can pick the colour as well. So you can have the colour, the type of marker you're using for whether it's a data point, and a dash. So these dots are actually really useful to put in where those data points are, because if you have just a flat line of a graph, you have no idea how many data points you've got, whereas if you have a marker for each data point that you've taken, you can see that really clearly. So my favourite marker point at the minute is a star. I'm going to change this to a blue line, and we'll just have a look at that. I said change it to a blue line and typed G, not B. That's not very helpful. There we go. Obviously you can change the size of these markers by marker size. I'm just going to make it slightly ridiculously large. Go with 15. So this is no good if you want to be able to accurately measure where that data point is, but as a demonstration of where the points are, that's fine. And you may have guessed that you can pick the colour of this as well if you want. So if you have marker face colour, and set that equal to whatever you want that to be, it will change the face colour of the marker. So get a whole heap of options there. So very quickly, even just using our basic plot command of plt.plot, we can specify the line type, the line size, the colour, what the line is, what markers you have there, the size of the markers. You can have your X and Y labels, a title, and you can add little sections to your graph to explain stuff. So from just the plt.plot, you can do a huge amount of stuff that you want to do. So when you're ready, on to the next video, and remember to have a go at the workbook before moving on to the next course. I'll see you soon.